I just have to save money. Homeschooling does not have to break the bank, and my recent trip to the Goodwill is proof that it could be affordable and budget friendly. I am a homeschool mom of two, but I'm also a former teacher. So let's unpack my homeschool thrifted finds. I was able to score a whole bunch of goodies while I was out of town, and I want to share that with you. The first thing that I picked up was this matching game by Doc McStuffins. My kids really love watching that show, and so I thought this would be a great game for my toddler. So pretty much there are cards in here, and it is a little cute matching game. So pretty much you would lay out the cards and have the child match the different cards to the ones that are exactly the same. This was definitely a score because it was only 99 cents, but it also has all of the cards in there. You don't always get that when you get thrifted finds, so that's great that I didn't have to go have the set and not have all the pieces with it. The next thing is that my kids love watching DVDs, so I picked up a whole bunch of DVDs at this Goodwill, and so that was definitely a score. These are all brand new except for one. This one is Life at the Pond. This is a little cute one, pretty much teaching kids, about different morals, principles, and values. Next one is Horton Hears a Who. You can never go wrong with having your kids watch this one. So many good things to learn about resilience and, just a fun, playful, movie for kids to watch. The next thing is actually a Christmas movie from Shrek. We haven't seen this one, so this will actually be fun to watch later on in the year, or honestly at any point, because my kids will watch Christmas stuff all year. Then last but not least, definitely not for my kids right now, but I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. And so anytime I see Harry Potter goodies at the Goodwill or any other thrift store, I'm gonna just buy it. The next thing is all of these books that I was able to pick up. You should not be surprised by this. Utilizing thrift stores or any other secondhand, place where you can purchase books is a great affordable way to be able to build up your home library. So that's pretty much what I choose to do. I've gotten stacks of books, bags of books. I think the cheapest price I've paid for some books at a thrift store has been about 5 to 10 cents. But most thrift stores, the children's books will be about 99 cents. The first one is going to be The Home Builders. I like this book because it pretty much teaches kids about the ecosystem of nature, practically telling them what those animals and insects are responsible for. So that's an amazing one. My kids love watching Thomas the Train all the time, and so this is the book that my son actually picked up while we were there. The next book that I have is The Sky Stirs Up Trouble. This is a book about tornadoes, so definitely good for science-friendly material. The next book that I have is The Laboratory of ABC. So this is also another science book that teaches kids about the different tools and things like that you use in chemistry. This is a really, really good one for kids. One is actually going to be The Ring Bearer. I love to be able to pick up cultural books for kids to be able to teach them about the different cultures that exist. Obviously, this would be African-American culture, but there's so many other books that we pick up, about Spanish cultures and, Asian cultures, Indian cultures, et cetera, et cetera. So, and the last book would actually be Can You See a Circle? So this is kind of like one of those books that you can introduce for science, but also use for the arts to teach kids about the different shapes that they can discover, also some art activities and things of that nature. So I would say I got some pretty good books to add to our library. The next thing I picked up was this Smarty Pants brain building cards. This was $2.99. So I feel like that was a really great price. And this obviously says, first grade on it. So we're not going to be using it right now, but I do love to have a stash of homeschool things so that, I can pull from it whenever I am going to need it. You guys will learn how much I am a big Harry Potter fan. And so this was a big deal to me because I never thought to actually have them in my home library. So while I was there, they had multiple copies of these Harry Potter books. So this was probably the best part of the whole shopping trip, even though I'm not going to be using it right now. So I have the Harry Potter 1, 2, and 4. And so I'm actually now going to be on the hunt to find the rest of them because I'm like, as big of a Harry Potter as I am, I'm not sure why I never actually decided to pick up the physical copies of them. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I'm able to shop around the different Goodwills in different cities and towns and states. So this was my opportunity, and I think I got a good bit of things. I would say there's probably over $100 value of products that I pretty much got for less than $20. But also, there are so many other ways to be able to save money. One of them is actually clearance rack. So I was shopping for groceries at Publix recently, and they had a clearance rack of books. And so I was able to pick up this book about community workers. So this is amazing because it teaches kids about all the responsibilities that different people have in our community. And so that book was $3.99. And then I also got this book called Hope is a Rainbow. So this one is amazing because it teaches kids how to be hopeful for different things and talks a little bit about, like, you know, friends and their adventures and things like that. So this is one of those cute books that I think that it's good to be able to teach kids about positive aspects of life. That pretty much wraps up this video. I definitely want to encourage you to be able to explore different things. Like, if you have any homeschool moms, friends, neighbors, family members, definitely ask them if they have any materials that they're no longer using. That's one way to be able to save money. Also, you know, your local library. Sometimes local libraries have books that they actually sell. You can get books at a reduced cost from libraries of books that they're looking to get rid of. But also, I've actually heard homeschool moms saying that sometimes they actually ask the library, do they have any books they're willing to get rid of for free? So there's no harm in asking. You'd be surprised sometimes what that response might be. But also different stores, like I go to Burlington, they have lots of books on sale. I go to Ross, they have lots of books on sale in the kids section. Walmart is my #1 go-to for homeschool supplies and anything of that nature. And then, like I said, any local Goodwills, thrift stores, anything that you have in your neighborhood for secondhand items, definitely explore those places because people are willing to get rid of these things and you can use it and it be of high value to you in your homeschooling journey. But I just love to save money. So if you're looking to homeschool in a way that's simple and manageable and doesn't cause burnout, then I invite you to join me on this journey and subscribe to my channel for more.